I said to he's not enough, then he hired 2 black men. He wasn't enough. That's what I told him the night everything shattered. I didn't mean to break him, not completely. I was angry, breathless, and burning inside from years of unmet touches, unfinished kisses, and the kind of desire that keeps you up at night craving a body that never learns yours. The silence between us had turned into walls, and those walls had grown taller than forgiveness. When I said he wasn't enough, I expected him to cry, maybe beg, maybe walk away quietly. But he did something else. Something that changed everything. He brought them. 2 men, tall, dark, muscular, and silent. They didn't speak when they entered our home. They looked at me like they already knew all the parts one kept hidden. The tension in the air wasn't just thick. It was suffocating. My breath hitched the moment they sat down, as if this was normal, as if I'd agreed to this. And maybe, deep down in the hollow places of my aching body, I had. That night he didn't touch me. He watched. He watched as they undressed me with slow, commanding hands. They kissed like they owned me, as if they'd been waiting for years. My moans betrayed me. The heat that swept over me erased the memory of every cold night I had spent lying beside a man who never saw me. I was drowning in sensation, each touch a thunderstorm, each whisper ablaze against my skin. They explored me like a map of secrets, unlocking places I'd forgotten I had. But in the blur of lust, something darker stirred. He smiled, he actually smiled, as if he'd won some cruel game. I didn't understand it then, but I would soon. Days passed. The nights repeated. They came again and again until I could no longer remember what loneliness felt like. But in the quiet, after they left, he'd ask questions. Too many. Was I satisfied now? Did I love being filled by strangers? Was this what I needed? His voice wasn't bitter, it was curious. And that scared me more. It wasn't about love anymore. It was about control. Power. He wasn't trying to please me. He was trying to own my pain. And when I started pulling away, when I finally realized I was nothing more than an experiment in his twisted idea of redemption, he snapped. He accused me of falling in love with him. I hadn't. But I had fallen out of love with him. I tried to leave, but the door had changed. Suddenly, freedom wasn't an option. Every friend I had stopped answering. My phone was tracked. My emails deleted. One of the men, he stayed behind. He said he was there to protect me. But I didn't need protection. I needed escape. I needed to remember who I was before desire became a weapon. The man who once couldn't touch me with passion had now built a prison out of lust. I was no longer a lover. I was a performance. And the audience was only him. He filmed everything. Every moan, every tear, every whispered yes that I had once meant. I saw the footage one day by accident, labeled neatly in folders. My body archived like a trophy. The betrayal shattered something no kiss could fix. I confronted him. He didn't deny it. He just said, "You said I wasn't enough. So I gave you more." That night, I slept with a knife under my pillow. But I didn't run. Not yet. I needed to know how deep his sickness went. That's when I started recording him. I let the nights continue. I let the performances happen. I faked the moans, faked the desire, faked the tears. I let him think he was in control. Until the day I vanished. Disappeared without a word, without a trace. Left the house with nothing but a hard drive full of footage that could ruin him. And ruin him I did. I leaked everything. Anonymously. Videos, messages, voice recordings. He lost everything. His job. His friends. His reputation. People saw the truth. How he used intimacy like punishment. How he created pain, filmed it and called it love. But the twist no one expected was this. I had never stopped recording. Not even after I left. He came looking for me. Begged for forgiveness. Claimed he was broken. Claimed it was all for love. But I wasn't the same woman he'd broken. I was fire now. I met him one last time. In a hotel room. I let him touch me. Let him cry in my arms. Let him believe I had returned. And then I whispered in his ear the truth. You were never enough. Not because you couldn't love me, but because you couldn't love yourself without destroying me. That was the last time he ever saw me. The footage of that night, the final act, was the final piece. It went viral. Millions watched as the man who tried to break me fell apart. Some called it revenge. Others called it justice. I just called it freedom. I disappeared again, this time for good. Somewhere quiet. Somewhere far. Where no one calls me a victim or a survivor. Where I don't wake up to cameras or questions. But sometimes in the middle of the night, I still feel hands on my body, both gentle and cruel. I remember the kisses that tasted like lies and the moans that sounded like crying. I remember what it felt like to be loved and used at the same time. And I wonder, how many others are trapped in stories like mine? They say the heart heals. But what if it never breaks cleanly? What if every kiss after betrayal tastes like blood? I live now in silence, not because I'm hiding, but because I'm listening, for other voices, other women, other souls torn apart by a love that never learned how to be soft. If you've heard this story and stayed until the end, know this wasn't just about sex or pain. It was about reclaiming the power that was stolen when someone said, "You're not enough." 'Cause I am. Always was.